Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the flight deck. We're back in the U.S. We're carrying on with our U.S. Capitals tour, and we're currently sitting in, or just outside Providence, Rhode Island, down in Warwick. We're switching over the aircraft. Well, the B247 is nice. It's lacking in certain things, and some of the modeling isn't complete. So we're switching back over to the DC-3, another aircraft that would have flown around at this time frame. And we're flying in the Allegheny Airways colors, an aircraft which did a regional airliner fly in, New England anyway, but we're going to take it for the entire trip. Over in the distance, we can see Kevin and his DC-3s flying in American Airlines from the same period, so it should be a good flight. Today is leg number 4, and we are flying from Rhode Island to the great state of Connecticut, specifically Hartford. For all you hockey fans, you'll remember the Hartford Whalers. That's where we're headed. It's a shorter flight today, so it's not going to be too bad. We have 25 passengers on board for today's flight, and we'll be flying at an altitude of 4,000 feet. We're going to track kind of out on a VOR, out in 2, and then we'll be doing the visual approach at the airport. Winds out in Hartford have been pretty calm when they have been blowing. They've been out of the southwest, and the winds here in Providence, they're coming up a little bit, but still not too bad. Out of the southeast, as you can see, I put it into the chat, 12 knots, 8 miles of visibility, few clouds at 30,000 feet. It's only 21 degrees, and Barrow is 3018. So not sure why it's giving me cloud information, as there's apparently not a lot of cloud out there, but that's all good. Oh, Kevin. So let's hop on board. We can get the aircraft up and ready to go. All right, we're on board the DC-3. We were using it for our tour of England, so should be familiar to everybody. We can start getting her set up. So we're going to come up to the overhead here. We're going to get the ground power connected, and we're on the battery cart. We'll get the avionics on. We're going to turn on the position lights so that everyone knows there's power to the aircraft, and everything else can stay off at the moment. We come over to check our fuel, and we don't have a lot of fuel going here. We'll put the auxiliaries on in cruise and landing once we pass about halfway, but it's not a long flight, so we are fine there. We'll take off on the mains and switch to auxiliary once we're up at cruise. So everything is looking good. We'll get the windows open. There we go. And we can get ready to start up. First thing we're going to do is we're going to come down to the fuel, and we're going to go left main on the left side and right main on the right side. So fuel is set. Sounds like Kevin's starting up already. We're going to start the left engine first, so we're going to make sure that the mag button is pushed all the way in. We're going to turn the mags to both. We'll turn the generators on, right side we're starting first. We'll get the boost pump going on the right side. We're going to come down here now. We're going to go mixture fully forward into the auto rich position. Propeller is going to go fully forward, and we're going to crack the throttle about an inch. That is good. Come up now. We will, on the right side, we are going to energize the starter. You can hear that starting to spin up. Once it becomes a consistent spin sound, that means to use that maximum RPM. We're going to click mesh and then come over here to the primer and get the primer going. Here we go. No, it did not want to start that time. Let's pop outside so we can see it. go over everything quickly here. Fuel is on the main tank. Mixture is set auto rich. Propeller is set fully forward. Throttle is cracked. Coming up top again. Generator's on. Fuel pump is on. Mags are on both. We will match the right side again. We're energizing the right side. Just mesh and prime. There we go. Got our engine start there on number 2. The right side engine, we'll just give it a second to warm up. Should start getting a little bit stronger there. And we'll bring that engine up to 1,000 RPMs. There she goes. They're warming up. Alright, same on the left engine. We're going to go mixture to the auto rich position. Full forward on the propellers. I'm going to crack the throttle about 1 inch. Back up to the overhead. Mags are going to go to both. Generators are on. Boost pumps are on. We'll start energizing the left engine. And we will mesh the left primer. And there we go with the left engine. Alright, both engines are now up and running. We're going to bring engine number 1, the right or left engine, up to 1,000 RPMs as well. There we go. And both engines are starting to come up. We can check our temperatures, and we can close our windows now. There we go. So as the engines warm up, let's get a few things set in here. We want 3018 on the barrel. Set that now. There's 3018, and we'll set it here on Roger's side as well. There we go. We're also going to come up now and tune in our radios. So transponder, we're going to go to 5556. And we'll set that on. We're going to come over to our nav1 frequency. It's going to be 115. This is the VOR. 1156. And our second frequency is going to be 1149. That's the Hartford one. And we'll do 1149 there. I'll slot that over. And that's just as a reference. We're going to be heading outbound on a roughly westerly direction. And we can also see beacons are being picked up, but that's fine. It's not really ready yet. Again, we're going to want to be heading out on a generally 270 heading for the initial. Alright, looks like everything is warming up nicely here. Temperatures are coming up especially oil temperatures are in the green. So everything is open, cowl flaps are open, and we are good to taxi. Let's come up to the radio. And we're not using this, I'm on Discord, but just for sake of completion, we can do a radio check. Warwick Terminal, Allegheny 004, radio check. Clear but quiet.
Not much I can do with the quiet side of things.
Much better.
Okay.
Alright, so we're ready to go. We are going to switch over to internal battery. We can get rid of the cart. Our beacon, well, we should have put that on. Our beacon light is on. Landing lights will stay off. Those will be fine. We're going to turn the pitot heat on. Wing lights not required. Prop de-icer is not required. Everything is good. No internal lights are needed since it's such a lovely day out. So for our taxi, we're basically going to be heading straight outwards. And we are going to be departing off of runway 23. I don't know why I've still got the stuff down there. There we go. If I go manual brakes, no, they're still there. Interesting. Alright. We'll ignore the guy down there on the ground. So we're going to taxi out here and then come down Alpha here to... I closed those. Why are they still open? Ah, there we go. Alright, we are ready to go. Allegheny traffic, or Warwick traffic, Allegheny 004, taxiing runway 23 via Alpha.
Rhode traffic, American 1 and Tango. We're following the Allegheny 2 runway 23, next Alpha.
We'll keep the power up. Don't want to run these engines in idle too much. It's a bit too slow for them. Forgot the switches are on when they're up on those three, not down. We get a beautiful day here in New England. Fairly clear skies and minimal winds, although 12 knots, it's a good breeze. See the flag, we're going to have a little bit of a left-hand crosswind. Bring the aircraft to a halt. Alright, and while we're sitting here, let's go up. Landing lights will come on. That's all fine. We're good there. We're going to go for a position 1 flaps for takeoff. Warwick traffic, Allegheny 004, taking position runway 23. So when we depart, we're going to be heading straight out, and then we are going to make a turn to the east, and we will circle around the east side of the airfield, climbing out to our cruise elevation. We are a multiplayer as well, so it'll be interesting to see who else is out here today. Not seeing anyone out there yet. There we we go. All nicely lined up. We'll get our view there. We are good. Let's confirm. And here we go. Warwick area traffic, Allegheny 004, rolling runway 23, left-hand turnout, circling around the field for a westbound departure. And we're going up to 4,000 feet today. Alright, so we'll bring that manifold pressure up to 20 inches, let the engine stabilize. Brakes released. And we're going to 40 inches for takeoff. A little bit of forward pressure and controlling our direction with the rudder.
Good, and traffic, American 1, Tango Vertex, right 2, 3, twins for the back.
There's the tail up. A little bit of left aileron to control for the wind. There's 80 knots. A little bit of back pressure, and up we go. Gear up. Keep that nose down. Speed start building. We'll set climb power now, so RPM coming back to 2,500 RPM. It will maintain 40 inches of manifold. So we're at 100 knots, or it's 400 feet. We're fairly heavy, we got a lot of people on board today. There's 500 feet, so commencing our left turn. We'll do about a half rate turn to the north. Alright, there's 700 feet. Flaps coming up. A little bit of back trim, keep the climb going. We don't want to get too slow. About 120 knots is fine. Slowly coming around. It's 1,000 feet. Still hand flying here. We're now facing eastward. There's the other end of the runway, the airport. As we're circling around.
Good, and traffic, American 1, Tango, we're rolling on runway 23, departure to the northwest.
1,500 feet. And slowly circling around. Keeping that half rate turn. It's 2,000 feet. Come back here, we're going to turn this over to our position for the that's the way I want it, our gyro pilot. Let's get that nose down. Still coming around, got a bit of a haze layer out there. Gyro pilot's on. course, rudder. Turn back to our 270 heading. There we go. We're still climbing out. Not seeing Kevin. I thought I turned on the nameplate thing, but that's fine. I'll have to check it another time. Do this one. I don't know what switch I did. That's all right. Anyway, there's 3,500 feet coming up. We're now tracking out roughly westbound. Give it a little bit more of a north. It's 4,000 coming up. So I'm going to start to ease off the climb rate a little bit. And we'll let the speed build up. Feet. So I've mentioned before on these legs out in this part of New England, absolutely great scenery if you can get out here and see it, and drive through it or ride through it, bicycle through it, even hike in the mountains. It would be something to see. All right, so we're trimming out for speed now. We're going to come over here and cowl flaps are going into trail. Now that we are in level flight, we're going to go to our left auxiliary tank on the left engine. There we go. And we're going to go to the right auxiliary tank on the right engine. Nope, not that way. That way. There, we caught it. Very nicely done. I wish you could roll the things a little bit easier, but you're on my right. Just give me a second here to get stable. Let me just do a quick control check. Bravo. Nameplate. Yeah, 44. Oh, there we go. Everybody's coming in now. There he is. Must have been the little glitch. Anyway, we're now going to go into cruise power settings. So propellers are coming back to 2,000 RPM. And engine power is coming back to 3,000 or 30 inches. There we go. Power is nicely set. I should settle it at about 170 knots. Temperatures and pressures are all good. Altimeter is holding. we are tracking. Okay. So since we have the nav 2 up, we're going to flick that over. There we go. Tracking out towards the Hartford VOR. Lovely aircraft. And it was the height of air transport back in the 30s. I can't remember if I got any window seats set up for this or not. I don't think I do. Anyway, we don't have far to go. As we head in towards Allegheny, or Allegheny, Hartford, and we're going to track the VOR, and then we're going to make our turn towards the east side of the airfield to come in for a left circuit at that point. So we want to give it a little bit more north. There we go. We want to be flying directly to. So we've got to correct by about 10 degrees. I guess we're getting a bit of a wind push here. Slight up on the elevator, bring us back level, get us back up to 4,000 feet. And we are good. And looking around, looks like everybody's vanished again. But 4,000 feet and for a 50-mile flight is not too bad. So this is the town of Plainfield coming up. Again, we'll be coming in on the southeast side of Hartford, and then we're going to turn to the north for our arrival. Not a long leg today. Again, we're in New England where things are fairly tight. Everything is looking good. So we get the winds out here at Hartford. They're variable at 4 knots, 10 miles of visibility, skies are clear, 25 degrees, 3017. So we're going to be landing on runway 20. As I mentioned, it's the longer the runway at 4,400 feet, and it is also, when the winds have been blowing, they have been out of that direction. So we'll stick with that as we come in. We can also well, let me turn it on. I'm gonna monitor the VOR, see if we can hear it, but I don't have that turned on. Of course, we're using the Duckworks mod. adding some nice improvements to the aircraft. So if we pop outside, we can see the nice river coming up. And we have the town of Norwich. It's down there. Beautiful lake country here. And we're going to have Hartford up over here. We're going to come in and then turn to the right. Airport elevation is 18 feet, so we're going to do 1,000-foot circuit height. And the airport's right on the edge of a river. So it should be pretty easy to find. This is not the main airport for the area. The big international airport is up at Windsor Locks. This is a smaller one right in the heart of the city. It's kind of like right downtown on the river, so should be an interesting arrival. Come down and check our fuel. So we should put our fuel into auto lean. I'll decrease that fuel flow. So we're about 15 miles out, 25 miles to go. We'll start down around 10 miles from the airport. So it says we come up to the town of Hebron. So follow the roads here. This is the little community of Lebanon. Follow down here. This is Colchester, not the same one that's in England. But directly ahead and on the other side of these lakes here is Hebron, right in about there. And we start to see the build up here for Hartford. Of course, the other thing you can always do with these airplanes is, so you don't have to worry about the fueling issue, switching fuel valves, is to double up in the main tanks and just run off them. Which is what I may do in the future, especially on these shorter flights where I don't need to be carrying fuel in the auxiliaries as well. I know there's a slight weight and balance thing there, but should be all right. There's Kevin behind us. We got a beautiful day out here. It must be cold there, yeah. I would say so. Well, we did fly by Lebanon where it was probably pretty hot. So, do not fear though, we're coming up for Hope Valley. A lot of hope in that valley. There's those lakes. There's the town of Hebron over there. Actually, I think it's looking at the road map here. Yeah, up in this area up here. So we're getting there. There's the other river, the main one that we're going to be flying around. But the airport is probably up somewhere up in here, or up in here. A little bit of a bounce there. Alright, we're 15 miles away. I'm going to start slowly bringing the aircraft down. Around about 500 feet per minute. Bring the power back to 20 inches. Look to fly over the town of Marlborough. Sit below. The main highway, like kind of the east, southeast, northwest highway. We're going to turn to about a 320 heading now. Kind of follow that highway north for a little bit. What's the name of the airport? It is Hartford. Hartford area traffic, Allegheny 004, 10 miles to the southeast inbound for the left pattern, runway 20 Hartford. 4,417 foot runway. Looks like the airport is right up in that area there. Turn a little bit more. 330. It's 3,000 feet. I'll stick on the auxiliary tanks. Runway heading is approximately 204 degrees.
After South Quebec, we're going to take over currently about 10 miles southwest of the airport. We're turning right for a left downwind for runway 20.
We'll go about there just as a reminder of which way I want to be headed. There's the airport right there. It's 3,000 feet. We're going to nose her down a little bit more. They're down to about 1,000 foot per minute. Landing lights are still on. That's all good. And alright, time to hit the reciprocal. Other way, we want to head at about a 0.4. 0.45-ish. We're not landing in that disused airfield. We're going over that side. Bring that back to a 0.24. It's 2,000 feet. Hartford traffic, Allegheny 004 established on the downwind runway 20 Hartford. Still descending, and we're going to turn.
I'm going to take over being the field on the downwind for 20, 2,000 foot for
290 for the base. Hartford area traffic, Allegheny 004, turning left base, runway 20. Alright, power comes back, mixture goes into auto rich, props go fully forward. 1,000 feet. Bring the power up. We're down to 140. Autopilot's off. 900 feet, 130 flaps a quarter. Hold that nose forward. Speed's coming back. We'll bring up the power. We don't want to get too slow. And we're now going to make our final turn. Hartford area traffic, Allegheny 004, turning final runway 20. Runway. Flaps half. Gear down. Speed's coming back. Flaps quarter. Full. keep it about 80, 85. Looking good coming in. Allegheny traffic, or Hartford traffic, Allegheny 004, 1 mile short final, T0. Keep that speed above 80, 85, or else she starts to buff it. Slightly displaced threshold because of the wires that we're just about to fly over, and the river, and the tree line. Good. Over the trees. Oop. A little bit of a burble there.
Hartford traffic, take over Manchester turning base for Manchester.
That's us down, so power's fully back, nose forward, holding the tail off, controlling a little bit of brake to help keep her straight. Tail down. And there we go. So we're going to go right to the end. On Alpha. Hartford area traffic, Allegheny 004, clear, runway 20 at Alpha. Alright, flaps coming up. There's Kevin. He's back. Alright, we're going to taxi up, so landing lights will now come off. And we'll open the cowl flaps up fully. Let's get ourselves centered. There should be a row of hangars in here.
We're turning and fighting from right to 0.
We're going to park over on this spot over here. Not a big airport, as you can see. Trying to keep that 1,000 RPM. All braking. Let's around. We'll park in the middle here, since we're a nice big airplane. Let's see if we can spin her around, straighten her up. That will do. Alright, so brakes are on. We're going to bring the engines up to 1,000 RPM. Hold them there. Since we're parked, we can shut off the avionics. Pitot, heat can come off. Open the windows. Get a little bit of air inside. And I think we're good to shut them down. Engine, the left engine fuel cut off. Right engine fuel cut off. Very nice. Get the doors open in the back. Position lights can come off. Beacon light can come off. And we're not starting, so we don't need the battery cart. Power down the aircraft. There we go. Welcome to Hartford, Connecticut. And as we say goodbye once again, we will watch Kevin come in and do his landing. Thanks again for watching. If you want to fly along, Wednesdays, Sundays are multiplayer days. The rest of the flights are all on VATSIM. You're more than welcome to come along and join us. Links for the Discord are in the description. You can find the information about what we're flying, when we're flying, and where we're flying. And as I say, you're more than welcome to come and join us on the flights. We fly around the world, everything from the modern day airliners to classic airliners to small GA airplanes, depending on what tour we just happen to be doing at the time. So we'll just watch Kevin touch down and his pink airplane. That does not look good. LOD issue right there. There he is. And he's down. So that's going to do it for us today. Take care, everybody. We will see you. We're back on Friday with Aurora flying from Juneau down to Vancouver. We'll see you all then. Bye for now.